Good morning, class 10 student. Today I am going to continue the remaining part of the lesson. I hope so I could finish this lesson, or it may take one more video to finish it. Today, in the last class we discussed about the environment. I hope you have understood. If you don't understand, then you may ask me the question anytime in my personal WhatsApp. Today I will start with a part that is environmental problem. You see, the environment has been utilized or being misused by the human being, and it is because of this problems occurs. Anything that we are using, anything at your home or in the environment that we are using on our own for our own benefits, and when the use is in a balanced state, then there would be no problem. But due to excessive and misuse of the elements of the environment, we are suffering from different problems. We are facing different problems, and in this part of the lesson we will discuss those problems. What problems? First of all, how environmental problem occurs? It is because of the balances of the environment and its utilization. The transition is not going on well. We the human being, among the environmental problem, one problem is human factor. Among the human factors, because of the overgrowth of population, excessive use of resources for our in the first chapter you have already understood that for our development, for our living standard, we start using the resources from the environment more and more. As more we start using the resources from the environment, the more development has come, but at a cost, and that cost creates certain problem in the environment, and which started to harm us also. Not only us, all the kingdom, all the living creatures, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, even human being. So how environmental problems occurs? It is by the balance. When the balance is not going on well, when there is no balance, when the balance started to break down among the uses of the resources and also the production of the resources, you see that when we are utilizing resources at a rate, the utilization is so much that the environment cannot generate that resource. Suppose, as for example, take a bucket, and from that bucket, and at that bucket you start opening the tap. Open the tap, and the tap has its own velocity, its own capacity to fill out the bucket, and that bucket would fill at a certain time. Suppose the bucket is filled up. From the tap, what is coming? Water. We regard the water as a resource, and in the bucket there is the reserve. When the bucket is full, the reserve is full. But now I start extracting the water by using a small cup. With that cup I am extracting the water at a pace. The utilization will be not so much, and from the tap also the water is falling, the water is flowing, and the balance would be so much that the bucket would remain full every time we are taking the water from the bucket, because the water level from the tap is being recharged every time, regularly, continuously. Okay, now the scenario has changed because of the overgrowth of population. Let's see if we take the water, extract the water from the bucket by a jug. When we are extracting the water from the jug, the water level goes down. As it goes down, why it goes down? Why it remains intact though the tap is flowing, it is open fully? Because the tap is unable to recharge the water level of the bucket, because at the amount the water is being filled by the tap, with that far more amount, with that far in multiple times we are extracting the water by the jug, and in this way the resource is getting depleted, and one day what happened? There will be no water in the bucket, or little water in the bucket, and that cannot be utilized in future generation. So that is the thing. The environment is recharging the resources, but it takes a time, it takes a level of time to recharge the resource, but we are extracting the resource. If we reduce the extraction of the resource to an extent the balance remains same, then there will be no environmental problem. But there is being environmental problem. The main thing is that it is because of the excessive utilization of the resources, exploitation of resources. And how it is from? It is because of the human factors. Humans are cutting out the forest, humans are putting load on agricultural field, humans are using chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides in the agricultures, humans are building industries, constructing roads on the land which is cultivable. Why? It is because more and more industries are being developed, more and more industries, more and more roads are being constructed. It is because of the growth of human population. So these are the factors, and this can be called as causes of the environmental change. It is because of these human factors the environmental changes are being occurred. These are the causes of the environmental changes. The fact behind it is that there are certain natural process also, natural factors also for the change of the environment, like volcanoes, earthquake, but these are very rare. Though it may come in large scale, but it is very rare. It may come within 50 years, 5 decades or a century. Okay, there is very loss of that type, but in small amount the losses are continuous, daily, regularly, because of the human factor. So we need to maintain the balance. We are unable to maintain the balance. So this is the causes of the environmental changes. So when the environmental problems are occurs, the environmental problems are being termed in three parts. The first one is the pollution, the second one is desertification, the third one is global warming. So pollution. What is pollution? Pollution again are being divided in three parts: pollution of the air, pollution of the water, pollution of the land. So in pollution, how air is being polluted? Air is being polluted by accumulation of harmful substances into the air. When it is harmful, when it is unwanted, then the air is said to be polluted. Here pollution of air happens to be in the atmosphere by certain activities, like flying of vehicles over the road. The vehicles emit smokes which contains sulfur, which contain mixture of sulfur and oxygen, which we call as sulfur dioxide. Secondly, the industrial fumes that comes out, which pollutes the atmosphere. So there are many factors that pollute the air. Some of the examples are this: industrial pollution. That is, the main thing is that the use of fossil fuel, that is coal, petroleum, natural gas. These emits smokes, these emits harmful gases which contains various harmful gases that may harm the environment, that are harming the environment. Suppose the petrol that we are burning in the cars, this petrol, when it burns, the petrol contains sulfur in it. The sulfur also burns and it mixes with oxygen, which gives up sulfur dioxide, and this sulfur dioxide goes to the atmosphere and it mixed with water vapor, which gives us sulfuric acid, and is very dangerous. Sulfuric is very dangerous for plant kingdom. Okay, agriculture are destroyed because of this sulfur dioxide. Next one is water. Water is being polluted by the harmful chemical substances that are added into the water. Suppose in agriculture we are using pesticides, insecticides, weedicides and chemical fertilizers. These chemicals, harmful chemicals, are being washed away by the rainwater, and it goes to the rivers, seas, oceans and gets polluted. In this way, water is being polluted. Sometimes whatever the fish that we consume from the rivers, which are coming from the rivers, that fish contains harmful chemicals and we are consuming, and in this way indirectly that we are being harmed. So we are suffering of various dreaded diseases, suffering from dreaded disease, very harmful disease like cancer, whatever it is. Next one is land. Land is also being polluted, and also it is directly connected with the water pollution. How? As I have already mentioned, water is being polluted by the harmful chemicals, fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides used in agriculture, industrial waste that are being dumped out into the water, into the river. So these, when the agricultural waste, agricultural chemicals are being used in the land is directly polluted. Though some of the amount of chemicals are being washed away by the water, it goes on resulting into water pollution, but land is also being polluted. The cities, the affluents that are coming from the cities, though the dirty things that we are accumulated at our home, these are being collected by the vehicles that are coming from municipal board, and they are dumping those effluent, those dirty things, those garbages into a landfilling area, and the land is destroyed for the whole that we say for the whole era, for the whole age, and that land cannot is not suitable for doing agriculture, for settlement for the next 100 to 200 years because of dumping of harmful chemicals that we are accumulating, like batteries, replaceable batteries that we are using. Okay, the bottles which contains harmful chemicals that we are using for cleaning, these are being dumped away into the garbage bin, and these garbages are being collected by the municipal people and they are taking to the landfills, and in this way land is also being polluted. So pollution contains air, water and land. This is one of the environmental problem, pollution. Next one is desertification. Desert and desertification is, these are two different concepts. These are two different concepts. Desertification is a process of an area which renders that is the decline of the productive capacity, potentiality of that area. Desert is different. From the very beginning, from the early part, when we say a place is a desert, that means that place does not have rainfall or scanty rainfall, no vegetation is there, no agriculture can be seen, no forest is there. So that is desertification. Okay, desertification is a process which renders the productive area of the tropical region. Tropical region means in tropical region that we are living in Assam. Assam is enjoying a tropical climate. So in this tropical climate we have plenty of water, plenty of forests are there, national parks are there, wildlife sanctuary. It is because of the climatic condition of Assam, and Assam is filled with biodiversity. Okay, but somehow when this productive capacity of the land in Assam goes on declining, then we can say the process of desertification is being started in Assam. It is going on. Again, there is a desert in an area, but around the area there are some productive nature of the area. Some agricultural activity can be done here, but slowly the desert is being expanded. The desert is being expanded and started to engulf the peripheral area. So in this way, this process can also be said as desertification. There are many concerns. United Nations organization have been trying to overcome this problem. They have set various meetings, various seminars for overcoming, for finding out the alternatives to save the productive area not to form into desert-like situation. We can say the term desertification denotes the spread of the desert. It also, when the desert starts spreading, then the spreading area of the peripheral, that can be said that the process of desertification. Okay. For instance, the environment of Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert in Africa, it became so dry in 1970. It's so dry. थोड़ा बहुत भी पानी अगर होता in 1970, that water, that drop of water was not present at that time. Many animals had to die. They had to die of thirst. pani. We cannot live a single day without water, but we can live 4 to 5 days or 10 days according to our health without food, but pani to chahiye. Generally, a number of natural and human factors favors the process of desertification. Natural and human factors favors the process of desertification. So natural factors, you know, whatever it is. So human factors, as I have already mentioned, that deforestation and industrial use of petroleum, fossil fuels for our own industrial purpose, running of our vehicles at home, using of harmful chemicals in the industries, harmful chemicals in the agricultural field. So these are certain causes environmental changes, and which are being as a result, which is the result of desertification. So I hope so the videos will be longer enough so I could continue the remaining part of the lesson in the next video. So I should remain here for your convenience, making the video shorter that you can understand. If any part from this video you don't understand, or the previous video that you don't understand, or the videos that I have been uploading continuously from the past several days, and also the history part that I have been uploaded already last year lockdown. Okay, though it is not old, the course never been old. For your refreshment, you can ask me any question from any chapter you want, not you like, you want, any chapter you want to understand, and you can ask me into the WhatsApp. It would be better in my personal WhatsApp, because at your class time from 9 to 9:45 you may not be available. Okay, one of the students already mentioned that she is going for tuition at 9 AM. So this is not good. Don't mention your tuition, don't mention your problem, whatever it is. It is my duty to give, but still I have given the time flexible, not in the group. If you are unable to ask a question in the group, but you may ask in the in my personal WhatsApp, whatever the time it is, so that other teachers may not get disturbed and complain against me. Okay, so for today I remain. Next day I will start global warming with a small sketch. It will be helpful for understanding the global warming, because it is quite longer. Without a sketch I will not be able to make you understand. So today I remain for the time. After finishing the lessons completely, I will provide you the answers. Thank you.